So good morning, everyone, and welcome to First Church of Religious Science. We're coming live on Zoom and Facebook Live, and I welcome each and every one of you. And I'm going to turn it over to Alex to lead us in prayer and meditation before I introduce our guest speaker, Rev Steph St. Amand. Alex.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Aren't we lucky to have today? What a beautiful, well, it's been great for the last 3 days, so it's been wonderful today. So I welcome you to another virtual Sunday. And check out this weather again. It's just so fabulous. So let us pray. Knowing there is God filling me with energy today and every day, and knowing God is doing the same for you. Can you feel it? I am so grateful for that. I bless our amazing Reverend Jerry, who's holding us together, and holding us high and helping us learn about ourselves. I bless our guest speaker today, Reverend Steph, who's speaking on wiping the slate clean. A little ho'oponopono in there, I feel. I pray for the safety of the players in the Super Bowl today. And I bless those first responders cheering in the stands. And I bless the vaccinators and the receivers of those knowing a shot is just around the corner. I am thankful. I bless everyone who is with us today. And so it is. So today we're going to do a 3-minute meditation, our usual. And I have a little thing from this. Oh, you probably can't see it because I have my background. We keep learning, don't we? This is called the non-practice practice from Thich Nhat Hanh. There are some people who sit in a very funny way. They try to show that they are practicing meditation. When you breathe in, mindfully and joyfully, don't show off to other people as if you were saying, I am breathing mindfully. Don't worry what your sitting looks like from the outside. Practice the non-practice practice. We can best convey the essence of the practice to others simply by doing it with our whole being. So I will ring the chimes, and then I will ring the chime again when the 3 minutes is up. so I leave you today because we've been home with our animals, or I should say your animals. These are things we can learn from a dog. Be loyal. Run, romp, and play daily. Eat with gusto and enthusiasm. I know I have. Take naps and stretch before rising. Delight in the simple joy of a long walk. Avoid biting when a simple growl will do. Never pretend to be something that you are not. Never pass up the opportunity to go on a joyride. If what you want lies buried, dig until you find it. Let others know when they've invaded your turf. When loved ones come home, always run to greet them. On hot days, drink lots of water and lay in the shade. No matter how often you're scolded, don't buy into the guilt thing and pout. Run right back and make friends. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you for that. I'm going to practice being a dog today, which is God spelled backwards. So I love that, Alex. So today, it's my delight to welcome Reverend Steph St. Amand to our community. I had the pleasure of participating in a couple of workshops with her this summer and fall. And I was so impressed by her vitality and her energy and her spiritual consciousness that I invited her to speak. And I was so happy when she said yes. And so she's an ordained minister with Center for Spiritual Living and a international speaker and a cultivator of spiritual joy, radical joy. She's a co-founder of Virtual Soul Community, One Love Awakening, and a host of Wake Up, Say Thank You, with her co-captain in all things life and ministry, Reverend Tammy St. Amand. And so without further ado, let me give you Reverend Steph.
Thank you, Reverend Jerry. Oh, it is such a beautiful honor to be here with you. I love stepping into new communities and seeing the magnificence that we are each individualized bringing to this expression of life itself. So thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share a little bit of spirit through me and to each of you. So thank you so much. So today, it is a glorious day. I love, Alex, that you were so excited about this brand new day. And I very often start every day. This is a brand new baby day. This is a brand new baby week. This is a brand new baby experience. And we get to step into that newness of life every single day. So I am using the themes for Centers for Spiritual Living when I do talks in communities, because I just love the connectivity that we are all working on and elevating consciousness throughout this Centers for Spiritual Living as a whole. So when I looked at these notes today, I see my life in them. And I think that we can all see our lives when coming to that place of needing a clean slate, wiping the slate clean. I was thinking about when I first started in religious science, in science of mind, my life looked a lot different than it does today. When I was about 13 years ago, I was suffering from depression. I had chronic anxiety disorder. I had ailments or things that doctors said were uncurable. And I lived in a really dark place. And when I found the science of mind, when I found Centers for Spiritual Living, that ability to wipe the slate clean was just this profound experience for me. And one of the most freeing things I heard when I first started studying science of mind was Ernest Holmes talking about principle was not bound by precedent. And I thought, oh, thank God. Thank God that my future does not have to be what my past looked like. And I could step into this brand new baby awareness with a new interpretation of what my life could be like, because I don't have to worry about what my past looked like. I don't have to worry about all the stories I was telling myself, all of that energy that I was feeling, all of the things I was doing wrong, all of the mistakes I was making. And Thomas Trord, he wrote a quote in The Creative Process in the Individual. He said, relying on the maxim that principle is not bound by precedent, we should not limit our expectations of the future. And if our speculations lead us to the conclusion that we have reached a point where we are not only able, but also required by the law of our own being to take a more active part in our personal evolution, then heretofore this discovery will afford us a new outlook upon life and widen our horizon with fresh interests and brightening hopes. Wiping the slate clean is realizing and recognizing that life is more than just second chances. How many of us have gotten more than 2 chances at something, right? We get a brand new opportunity every time we come to that place in our life where we find an oops, I did it again, right? And so wiping the slate clean is really about forgetting everything we are not, forgetting everything that we are not, forgetting all of those stories that we are constantly telling ourselves. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this room or in this life that has that story of unworthiness. Oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I don't have enough, I'm not good at this thing I'm trying, so I'm not going to try it at all. These are stories that we are telling ourselves, and they are falsehoods in the mind of the divine, because in the mind of that infinite intelligence that has woven itself in and through and has absolutely everything, we are perfect. You are perfect right here and right now. You are divine magnificence. And to reveal that magnificence, we have our responsibility, our accountability to this life is to forget all of the stories that are untrue, all of those shoulds, coulds, would'ves, couldn'ts, all of that stuff, to just set it down and step into a moment of awareness, stepping into a moment of self-awareness. That is the first thing that I learned in Science of Mind, and the ability to wipe the slate clean for myself was to first recognize that I am responsible. I am accountable. I am fully capable of stepping into a brand new place in my life. When I was living in that shadow life, when I was suffering, creating the pain in my life of depression and anxiety, and living in that dark cave, those stories held me in that place. And I started reading. I found new books and new experiences to unravel that which I had been telling myself for decades. And I started actually with a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, because that one phrase changed my life just as much as principle was not bound by precedent. Feel the fear and do it anyway. When we have these energy bodies, our bodies are tuning for the energy of spirit. We are spirit in form. And so this beautiful intuitive guide that we have within us can direct us to course correct, to shift and change, and to move and to flow into the beingness of something new, something new. And self-awareness is that coming to that place where we take time to contemplate our virtues, our values, the things that are important to us, and allow those things, those virtues, those values, those experiences to energetically guide us and to lead us forward. Our bodies know when we've just made an oops. And that is the perfect time to bring forth the newness. We don't have to wait until tomorrow morning. You know, when we slip on our diet, we don't have to beat ourselves up. We can start fresh right here and right now, put down the potato chip and pick up the carrot. We can do all of these steps right in the moment. Every single moment is a brand new opportunity to start again. I love that concept of atonement, to just be right here in the self-awareness of the oops, or the listening to that physical spirit that is indwelling you, to feel, oh, I think I need to go this way now instead of that way. Every morsel of every moment in every day, all throughout this life, is an opportunity for newness. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter where you've been, every morsel of this life is the newness of spirit. We are the living examples of that divine infinite intelligence because we have the power of this mind. Your mind is magnificent. Your spiritual magnificence is always here and always present, just as the oak in its fullness is in an acorn. And so when we return to that knowing, when we return to that revealing of our spiritual self, our spiritual wholeness, we can find that powerful presence of who we are in knowing ourselves. Knowing the newness is just a brand new conversation, a brand new experience, a brand new moment. You know, Centers for Spiritual Living, in the global vision, we envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering creative power of thought. And that starts right here in the power of our own minds. You are brilliant, divine reflections and emanations of something that is holy and sacred. And I think we do a disservice to live in the story we tell ourselves that we are unworthy, that we are not deserving, that we are not in the wholeness of the living body of spirit. And we get to be in that at every moment. I love wiping the slate clean. It's a huge thing to just wipe your life clean of all of the baggage that we've had. So I'm going to tell you a little story about 2020. My experience of COVID. So in December of 2019, my co-minister and I, who's also my wife, we sold everything. We sold our house, we downsized, we got everything into storage because we accepted a letter of call for a California pulpit. So I'm in British Columbia, Canada right now. So there are things that need to go into place for that experience to happen. But in absolute faith, knowing that Spirit was driving us, we decided to sell our house and head down to California before our work visa was approved. And because we had faith, the community was rallying around us. They wanted us to be down there, and we were excited to be a part of that experience. And along the way, my body was saying, red flag, there's stuff going on here. Maybe you shouldn't sell the house. Maybe you could just rent it out. Like there's all of these things that are just stepping into a very energetic field when we're listening to that guide. And we just kept pushing through. And there was many opportunities right down to the day before we left BC to head down. That really could have been listened to, but we wanted to oops. We wanted to just keep on going. In faith, Spirit's got us. We know what we're doing, and we got down there. And in a matter of just 2 months, we were there for about 6 weeks. And while all of that was happening, just that feeling of something's not working here. There's something isn't right here. And so I'm standing in the backyard in the silence of where we were staying. We were such a blessing. One of the board members was letting us live in her home while we waited for our work visa. And so I'm standing in the backyard, and all of the noise, I couldn't hear spirit. And so all of these voices in my life were telling me what to do and how to do it, and this is the way, and we're gonna push through. And every morsel of it was like, oh, we shouldn't be, what we resist, and let's not push through, and just let's listen. And so I'm in the backyard, and I'm just, Holy Spirit, I just want to hear only your voice today. I just want to block out all the other voices in this experience. And I just want to hear your voice. What's your call for me to do in this moment? And where are you directing me so that I know and physically can be in the presence of the glory and the grace that you want to activate through me? This is a team. I need to hear your side of this. And so not more than just a few days later, California shut down. All of California locked down. And I thought, oh, I better be careful what I pray for, because I'm some power. And so realizing that, was it my consciousness that created COVID? Like, was my consciousness so powerful that I had to shut the whole world down so that we could quiet down and still ourselves to be present for whatever is moving us forward? No, I don't really believe I created COVID. We are in this collective collaboration of divine substance, and everything is holy. So whatever is happening in that experience is absolutely for the highest and greatest good of humanity. I believe that, because I believe that there is only one thing happening, and that is divine intelligence unfolding. I just think it's also very ironic, synchronistic, or an answer to a prayer that everything shut down around me. I had no choice but to sit alone in my space and hear only that direction that God had for me. And so pushing through, the immigration closed, work visa did not happen, travel insurance was running out in a week, and we were what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And so I just feel like divine guidance led every moment once I shut off everything else. And I stopped pushing my own agenda into life, but allowing Spirit's agenda to be made known through me. That is the power and the presence. And so my moving to California was a 20-year goal, a 20-year plan, a life plan that was wiped clean. So moving, I had to pack up everything again and come back to Canada because I wasn't able to work or earn an income in the States. And so coming back to Canada, what the whole COVID experience did was create a brand new baby ministry. So in early of 2020, One Love Awakening, the Focus Ministry, now affiliated with Centers for Spiritual Living, was birthed from all of that chaos. And had I just said, okay, enough's enough, I'm not doing anything else like this, that's huge. We are, I quit. But something is always bringing us further and closer to the newness of our own life, the birth of a brand new opportunity, the birth of a new baby day in every moment. So we can turn towards the newness of this life, or we can live in that past, and we can harp on all of that stuff and create more of the suffering in our lives. We cannot change the past. We cannot do anything about what is back there. And we can't do anything about what is before us. But the moment that we have right here in front of us is sacred and holy and good. And when we participate in it, when we participate in it, life awakens for that good that is in our life. Adyashanti said, and this powerful quote, "Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seen through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagined to be true." Do you think the butterfly is happier than the caterpillar? Right? But the chrysalis that the caterpillar goes through to become its wholly new expression of being a butterfly, that which was a creepy, crawly, fuzzy thing, is now something that's brilliant and colorful and winged and can fly. But in that chrysalis, that caterpillar has to literally eat itself away to become the newness that it is destined to be. It is destined to be. Just as that oak in full expression is destined from the acorn, the seed of your magnificence is implanted within you in the fullness of that which you are. And this beautiful life we get to practice in, right? We get to practice the presence, because I don't know about you all, but the people I've seen who feel energetically or seem in consciousness awake or enlightened, they've got stories to tell about the struggle that they took to get there. Eckhart Tolle sat on a park bench in depression for a year before his new idea was birthed. Thoreau sat in a cabin for 365 days to practice the presence within him, to birth his new expression. We suffer for our glory and our grace, and everything is absolute perfection. Our suffering is not unnoticed. Our pain is not unnoticed. We are the living embodiment of a divine infinite intelligence that has woven itself through eternity. And we get to partake in these 100 years and to bring forth that newness that spirit is creating in life itself, in consciousness. We get to be that. We get to be the gift of ourselves in this life. And so practicing who we are, contemplating who we are, finding out those little synchronicities in our lives, finding out, paying attention to the food you prepare, paying attention to the things you think while you're cooking, paying attention to the times of stillness and contemplation when you're walking, when you're driving. How did I get here? Do you ever have that? You've driven somewhere and you remember getting in the car and you remember parking, but you've done that drive so many times that it's nothing to you. That's meditation. So we get to partake in that expression as well. Be willing to be a beginner every single day, right? Be willing to learn something new today. And be willing to learn something new about yourself today. That beginner mind, I think about the 2-year-old touching everything in a store. Just, what's this? What's this? What's this? Why? Let's live in that excitement and exuberance for life. Because every day we get to play in this life that we are. No matter, I've learned this too. This is a beautiful lesson I've learned. No matter how far I've come in this journey of consciousness, there's always someone in the room who knows more than me and who has more wisdom to share with me. And I will not withhold my attention and intention from someone else's wisdom. The gift of who you are in my life is a powerful, powerful thing. And you are that gift. So, turning off those voices, remembering that we are in this place of consciousness, that we are in a brand new baby day, and that every day is a brand new opportunity to be the glory and the gift of who you are called to be. This day would be impossible without you, without your gift, without your magnificent consciousness living itself into this day. So I'm just so grateful to share this moment with you and to be in this moment with you, and to expand consciousness in this time. I have an affirmation that I will repeat. And if you want to join me in that affirmation, we'll say it 3 times together. Right, Jerry? 3 times? Yeah. I am open to the promise of a clean slate, which every moment holds. I am open to the promise of a clean slate, which every moment holds. I am open to the promise of a clean slate, which every moment holds. So let us do a spiritual mind treatment. My favorite thing, that's what Wake Up, Say Thank You is all about. Being in the presence and knowing that we are one. I just take the centering and grounding breath, recognizing that divine energy that shaped the universe, shapes this moment in absolute perfection. For I know right here and right now that there is only one power, one presence, one divine infinite intelligence that moves and flows and has its being in the everything of life. There is no place, no space, no moment, no breath where the divine is not emanating its fullness and actualizing its own substance of life. That radiant I am is the radiant I am that I am, and I recognize it within me here and now. There is only one. And so as I affirm this truth for myself, I affirm it for every heart and mind, every ear that hears, and every soul that is open to this expression and experience. I am that. We are one. The we are is the radiant I am, expanding and expressing. And so as I turn within and know this truth for all, I speak this word in the knowingness, in the power and in the presence. There is a brand new gift being birthed into every moment. I am right here, right now, wiping the slate clean. I start fresh in every moment as I participate and partake in the nature of the divine. And so that holy expression that is living me, supports me, fields me, fuels me, sustains me as I take every step with confidence and with courage. For I know right here and right now that as I open myself up to the newness of this day, to this life, I open myself up to the newness of an enlightenment, an awakened state of being. I open myself up to the knowingness that I can make mistakes because there are no mistakes in the mind of that which created all of life. There is no chaos here. And I simply allow the presence of this infinite intelligence to clear my path of all judgment, clear my path of all labeling, of separation. I clear my path right here and right now of all things that do not serve the highest and greatest expression of that which is living me. And so I am the gift that is in this life for me. I open myself, I open my mind, my heart, my soul to experience the newness of this day. And I allow my past to remain exactly where it is. I allow my future to remain open, and I stand firm in the knowingness right here and right now that this very moment is the gift that I unwrapped. And so I unwrap it with absolute gratitude, knowing fully and completely that that gratitude multiplies, magnifies, and ripples out into the field of this heavenly host that is the divine beloved that is also within me. And so I simply give absolute, unmeasurable, unprecedented gratitude for the wholeness I am, for the infinite law of mind, and for my awareness of it, knowing it is already perfect, whole, and complete, just as it is. I simply let it be so. And if this is as true for you as it is for me, join me in saying, and so it is.
Wow, and so it is. Thank you so very much, Steph. That was a beautiful prayer that just capped that inspiring message of wipe the slate clean. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. And I hope you join us. I'm going to make a couple of announcements and then open up the room to our community. And my primary announcement is I want to welcome Nina, our newest board member. And I saw her online, and thank you. And Nina has passion is membership, and I'm so excited to work with her and the rest of the leadership in 2021 as we build our community and community involvement. And then I want to share our screen for a moment and see if I can do this all. There we go. There's our yellow building. And our yellow building still takes money to pay, even though we're a church without walls right now. We still have to keep it going. And so I invite you to contribute to First Church of Vallejo on our webpage. And you can use PayPal to support us, or you can use your bank and bill pay, or the old-fashioned way, but we love it. It's first a check in the mail, the First Church of Religious Science, 229 Springs Road, Vallejo, California, 94590. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to stop the recording.